Okay, welcome back to Unreal Engine ND. So we did the right weapon. We activated it, deactivated, got the overlap working. So let's go ahead and wrap up the left weapon. So I'm in enemy melee.h. So let's see, activate and deactivate weapon boxes. What we need to do, let's go ahead and copy that. We'll paste that in. And then what we will do is we'll just say left weapon, and we'll say left weapon. Then what we are going to do is generate definitions. Back into the header, generate definitions. Okay. So that is done. And let's scroll down to see what else we need. We need an on right weapon overlap. On left weapon overlap. Right weapon overlap. Let's copy that, paste that in. And we'll go ahead and separate that. And we will do an on left weapon overlap. And we are going to need the box component. So copy that, paste that in, and we will do a left weapon collision. And we need a generate definition for that. Okay, so I think that's it for the header. Let's go into the enemy melee.cpp and let's go ahead and copy this, and then we will just say left weapon, left weapon, and left. And we'll rename the text. And we need to bind them. But activate left weapon. Let's go ahead and do that. We know these are working. So but let's just go ahead and say enemy right weapon, enemy right weapon, and then we'll do it for 5 seconds. That's fine. And let's go ahead and we'll just copy this, paste that in, enemy left, and we will just go ahead and say left weapon collision. And we need to deactivate, but we are going to come up here and copy that, paste that in, and say enemy left deactivate, and left weapon collision. So that should be working. Let's keep scrolling down. Again, play. We need to bind them. And what I'm going to do on a left weapon, on a left weapon, and that is going to be left weapon collision. So we have the left weapon collision, component begin overlap, add dynamic on left weapon overlap. And now we need all of this, but we need it for the left weapon collision. And we'll just say left, left, and left, and left. And double check to make sure everything looks good. Okay. Melee attack. That's the montage. We don't need to worry about that because it is working. It's just not the overlaps are. Attack 1 and 2. On right weapon over, on left weapon overlap. And is valid sweep result, hit player. Go ahead and copy that. And we'll just say right hit player, and then we will say left hit player. Left hit player. Okay. So the enemy melee H and CPP are looking good. I think what we need to do is we need to do the notifies. So what we are going to do is fire up the editor. Okay, so we're in the Unreal Engine editor. Let's go ahead and, oh, there's the notifies. Enemy right weapon. Let's do a new C++ class. Let's do all classes, and we're looking for anim notify state. This one right here. And as far as calling what to call it, we'll just come in here. We'll call it enemy left weapon. Let's just call it enemy left weapon. Enemy left weapon. We'll just say enemy left weapon. We'll go ahead and create that class and jump into it. Okay. So we got these. What I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and open up the right weapon on these, and I think I'm just going to go ahead and drag that over. Enemy right weapon, go ahead and drag that up there, close this out, and we're in header and in header. So generated body, we're going to need a public section. So public and a U property, and of course we need declarations. Declarations class A enemy Is that doing that? A enemy melee. Enemy melee. And we are just going to copy this because nothing we really need to change. Because it's just an override for the notify begin and the end, because we're creating our own notify state. So I think we can jump into the CPP. Let's go in there. We are going to need the declarations of those. Generate, not declarations, generate definitions. Generate definition. Okay, and we don't need the super. So we can remove that. And we can remove that. I'm going pretty quickly because we've already done this for the right weapon. I just wanted to go ahead and do the video just to make sure that everybody can follow along. And I think all we need is, we don't have anything activate left weapon. We're going to need, okay, so we can just copy that. And of course we need the header. And we'll just go ahead and include enemy melee. And we need to activate the left weapon. Activate a left weapon. And then you need to deactivate. And deactivate left weapon. Okay. And of course that's red because I need to add it to Git, but I will do that later. So let's go ahead and do a quick build and see if everything is looking good. Should be, because all we did is copy and paste, really. Okay, so it looks good. Let's go ahead and run this in the editor, and we will see if it is going to work. Of course, what we need to do is we need to add the socket. And we will go to the enemy character into the blueprint. And we will look at the mesh. Skeletal mesh. Go ahead and open that up. Jump over to the skeleton side. And I think it's called hand L. Yeah, right there, hand L. And add socket. And we want to rename it. So F2 left weapon socket. Left weapon socket. Go ahead and jump into here. And as you can see, it's looking pretty good. Let's go ahead and click off of real time. Let's slow the mouse speed down. And again, it doesn't need to be perfect. Oh, that's a little too much. Yeah, we'll just go there. I'm not going to worry about making it perfect. Okay. That's good enough. Alrighty. So we have the collision boxes set up. I think we can just go ahead and jump in and let's see what happens. Let's see if we can get Chimera to do its thing. And it didn't work. And the reason why is because can you figure it out? What do we need? So I know why it's not working. The best thing to do is to pause the video and see if you can figure it out. Go ahead and go through the steps of what you need. And let's see if you can figure it out. So go ahead and pause it and try it. Okay, so you're back. Let's go into the montage. As you can see, we need to activate and deactivate it. Now, I've done this so many times that I knew, kind of like ran through my head like, well, everything in the code was okay. We added socket, that was good. Oh, I forgot the montage. And you will be doing that no matter how many times you do this, you will forget something. And you have to go back and figure it out. And this will be enemy left weapon. We'll go ahead and activate it there. And yeah, deactivate it. About right there. That looks about right. Doesn't need to be perfect. You can, in a real game, you will always go back and polish. Alright, let's see if we can get a left weapon attack. Here we go. Left hit player. Enemy left activate, hit player deactivate. Okay. So now that we got the left weapon to activate and deactivate, collision boxes are working. Right weapon is working, left weapon is working. So the next thing we need to do is we need to apply damage and take damage. So if you look at the enemy melee, I believe it's in the enemy.cpp, and we have float a enemy take damage. But you want to do this for the player. And then you want to apply damage on here. So if you look at the character, and you say apply damage to enemy, that is on the on right weapon overlap. So on the enemy overlap, go ahead and try to do the apply damage and take damage. And in the next video, we'll go ahead and do that. But what I would like for you to do is go ahead and try it out yourself, and then in a few days I'll go ahead and upload another video, and we will wrap this up to be able to apply damage. And the reason I want to do it is because I just want to get you used to doing things yourself, and then have me come back and say, okay, this is how I did it. Because right now you should be able to do pretty much everything you need to do. And what you're going to do is get in the habit of, well, this isn't working, so I have to rethink things and try something else. And the only way you're going to be able to walk through problems is just writing code and seeing if it works. And if it doesn't, find out why. Just kind of reverse engineer things and your steps, and then think of something else. So this should be pretty easy for you to be able to apply or take damage. And then what we will do is go ahead and wrap it up in the next video. So that's all I have. Bye for now.